And welcome back. Now our weapons are dropped back to 1. The heck? Entering this little trial we had to go through to actually get to the doctor. This area is a bit difficult, especially with the water uh, being being deadly as well, causes damage, and pretty useful when you actually have the booster 2.0. And of course, all your weapons are back to 1. Again, very useful weapons are the spur and the blade, because the blade it has the both capability of long range and rapid fire, and the spur being that it doesn't require weapon energy. If you have the Nemesis is also great for this area too. But again, the Nemesis and choosing over the blade basically is basically choosing your favorite, in which my favorite is the blade. So that way I chose over the Nemesis. Now you definitely want to be careful with this area, especially again the water right there. Well, maybe it's blood since it's red. It's kind deadly. You also want to kind of exploit your invincibility frames for this area as well. Definitely with the spikes. But I recommend just getting your invincibility frames from enemies instead of the spikes, because the spikes does more damage than the enemies. You also want to see here the little how the booster 2.0 is very useful. With the booster, if you have the booster point 0, no 0.8, it could be a little bit difficult, especially trying to hover enough room to get up, because the booster 2.0 is more of a dash thrust thing, and the booster point 8 is more of a floaty boost. Let me see here the red ogre. It's not that difficult of a thing, just dodge its little blades and just shoot it. Again, if you have the blade on a Nemesis or the spur, this is pretty easy to take care of. And we got ourselves the red ogre. Ogre medal. Does do nothing, trust me. Just there for being an item. And of course we see here why the booster 2.0 is very useful, because you can just easily dash through these guys. And I believe if you have the booster point 8, I think you have to do more of it, like a switch and bait. Basically, trying to get them to fall first, then quickly go back and then attack them. And of course, having the Whimsical Star is pretty useful too. And now we at the balcony. The last area before heading off to fight some bosses. And here we see these Raven Amigas again, that we've seen, I believe, at the Bushlands as like a little enemy type. Now they are a regular enemy type in this area. We see the prefab lab. We see the little resting area and also the save point. And so, and you also see a monster type of Igor. Well, it's not Igor, it's just I guess monster type, but it's pretty interesting seeing that you can able, now with all your weapons, you're more powerful, you have to easily take him out in just like a few max power shots of the spur. And you see up here, there's a little cache of health, missile ammo, and energy weapon energy. Is where you want to like to go back and forth to level up all your weapons to max, and also get some more missile ammo and also health. And we head up here. There's a little sign. We just say end of the road. And we just jump in the clouds and it just brings you back where the entrance of the balcony was. And now we head off into the throne room and we meet Misery again. Now I want to warn you real quick. This boss is pretty hard. Real hard because I keep forgetting to slow down for each time I try. So I actually edit in the first time I actually got her, meet her, and then and actually cut in the part where I actually beat her. The same with the next couple of bosses as well. But this boss is again difficult. I recommend level 3 Blade, mostly because it gives off a little damage. Plus, when she has a certain point, she does little spears, little black spears around her, which after she teleports, the black spears become little bats, which the level 3 Blade can easily get rid of them. You got these 3 flowing balls, which as soon as you go under them, go directly at you for an attack. They're pretty easy to avoid. Just keep running away from them. You also watch out for the blocks. So blocks cause a lot of damage as well to yourself. And for anything else, if you're using any other weapon instead of the blades, could be a bit difficult because those spears floating around Misery does block damage. So it's kind of difficult. That's why I like using Blade level 3, because Blade level 3 does a little area attack. Of course, watch out for like little balls, barrages of some sort of dark energy. But from that, we see we could take care of the Misery that easily. And of course, with the life pot, if you have the life pot, I recommend holding off the life pot until a certain fight. And of course, if you're not doing the secret mission or red ending, definitely save your life pot, because there's 3 bosses we have to fight. Misery is the first one. The next floor is a second one, or a second and a half. Just explain that when we get there. And the third, there's 3 floors basically with bosses. And the last boss on the 3rd floor is where, if you're not doing the secret ending, you should use the life pot. But if you're doing the secret ending and the best ending for the secret boss, definitely try and save on to your life pot. But we meet the doctor here, and you see here he captures a lot of Mimigas, which he's ready to feed them red flowers. And I don't know why this is taking a while for me to keep going. Wow. Huh. You know, I'm just gonna remember to cut this part out. Oh, there we go. Hopefully. Ooh. Yee. Anyway, continue with the red crystal. Yada yada yada. Tell us what his plan is. And of course, tell us we are dummies. And also, what I mean to mention too is always enter before going to the boss with a max level 3 spur if you have it. Because once you get out of the dialogue, you can easily get a free hit at the beginning of the fight. So he got, so you see here the doctor, that little gem is acting like a little shield for him, and also a little device for his attacks. That little spiral energy wave is pretty easy to dodge, just jump over it. And he also has the little barrage of red energy, trying best to dodge it. Just use the spur here if you have it, because he teleports around, and using the spur is a pretty long range, so it's pretty useful, especially when the little red gem thing is blocking your attacks. It's pretty useful because it will stay along till it hits the doctor. Now for this part, for this second form of the doctor, I recommend the Blade because look, the Blade is taking like quick work of him. He's nothing to the Blade. He's pretty useless to the Blade. Just fucking wreck him with the Blade. His first form lasts longer than the second form because the Blade is definitely powerful. Because the more difficulty for the first form of the Doctor is because you teleport far away from you, so the distance is the difficulty. But for the second form of the Doctor, he's pretty much nothing because he just stands there and jump around near you, so it's easy target for the Blade. Again, you see my health right now. It's pretty low. If you're doing not doing the secret boss for the best ending, definitely use a life pot. If you're not, which I'm doing right now, I'm saving my life pot for the secret boss and the best ending. And let me tell you, it's what's pretty difficult to do this in one go, just to get to the secret boss and best ending. It's very difficult. Definitely not recommended to do on your first try. And definitely on normal too. God, I don't want to think about people doing this on hard. Of course, we have Misery here, being a little dick uh, about Sue and trying to use the core for her own advantage. But we see here that the Doctor's soul is still alive. That's throughout with the Demon Crown, but we see here the Doctor's not gonna go down without a last fight, and she gonna take some liberties with Sue and Misery in a second, and also the core. Turning Misery into some sort of horrific beast, and turning Sue into a slim bunny girl. Yeah, I don't get it either. And the core is the Doctor as well. Now for this boss fight, you're fighting 3 entities at once. The core, Sue's monstrous form, and also Misery. Definitely focus on trying to get rid of Sue first, and then Misery. Misery is pretty, because Misery gives out weak enemies, and again with the spur, they give out like a bunch of health and weapon energy. So use that in your advantage, especially when not using the life pot for saving it for the secret boss and best ending. And again, try and take out a Sue because she comes at you at full force. Sometimes you can glitch her out where she can like get stuck between the little pillars right there, little platforms. But again, you want to try and get rid of Sue first. It also does some damage to the core as well, to his like face, but it only causes damage when his like full eyes are shown. Now you can take care of that. You try and take care of Misery, so monstrous form, which is pretty simple. Just just use the spur again. Use the blade, your nemesis. Again, like the nemesis blade. Or if you think you can do it, use your missiles. That would take care of Misery. Might want to stand on these 2 platforms, and also jump on the little core bits. I don't know what they call, but it seems like every time you jump on one, it prompts the face to show itself, and that will help you actually able to cause damage to the main core. Definitely watch out for attack. Yeah, definitely watch out for that main one right there, the big cannon one. You also want to stay away from the ground and the ceiling because there's like constant attacks of little missiles. But we defeated the core, and that's basically you beat the main part of the game. Yeah, so that's the main part. And wow, uh, having 30 frames make that helicopter look weird with the flapping. But wait, again, we destroy the core, which is the heart on the island. So that means the island is falling. That means we need to get the fuck out of here. And of course, our little Mimigas are already gone from the cage, and we try and get the heck out of here. Of course, you want to try this part, try not get yourself too damaged, because again, you could die, and you don't want to do all those boss fights again. Actually, I'm not sure if you have to. I don't know, but I don't. You don't want to even want to try to see if that can happen. Let's get a helicopter gone, so that your only chance is to jump off. So we do that in style, and we're falling. We're falling. We're still falling. We're falling. We're falling. How can East can helicopter a helicopter without a without thumbs? I will never know. And of course, we see all of the areas we've been to. And here comes the island, which I wonder if I knew about this island, or is it just like a myth? That was the most silent crash. Oh no, there's a crash. Yeah, we're still falling. Falling, 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 and caught. Hooray! For not douchebaggy brothers. Yeah, you were trying to abandon us too, you little shit. And here's the credits. Not much for the credits, just showing some portraits of, which I like in some games. Yeah, so showcases the characters with some bios and some pieces, information, and also we see some cool art, some from I guess promotional, and some events that happen in the game, and also some events that happen after the game, which I find pretty cool when the games do that. But with all this, you beat the ending. You beat Cave Story for the first time if you do all that. So I guess this is pretty much the end. I guess, maybe, I don't know. Hey, look, that guys look like Snoopy with a glass of wine. Those dogs look adorable, but they're actually little shits. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was Cave Story, and see you next time.